This is it, it's finally here, Babel Tower. What is Babel Tower, you ask? It's basically the most challenging and difficult content PGR has to offer and only comes around 4 times a year. If you're a masochist, then this is the perfect mode for you. If you're not, then that's what this video is for, as I'll try to help you to score the minimum amount needed to claim all the tangible rewards. So let's get started. Babel Tower consists of 5 battles with a team of minimum 1 character locked to each fight. You'll notice that each BP fight has the first 3 floors locked that you're required to beat in order to access the 4th floor, which lets you freely choose the handicaps that you want. Handicaps translate to points when you beat the stage, more on that later. For the first step, you can just use your strongest constructs to beat the first 3 stages of all the BP. Don't worry about the character locks because there is a lock reset button, so you'll be doing that every time you clear an initial floor. The unlock state is permanent and that's what you want. You can also recover your last record if you delete them by accident. Babel Tower does not cost serum and you have unlimited attempts for about a month to score as high as possible for each stage to reap the rewards. You only need a total of 100 strategic points, aka handicap points, across all 5 fights to get all the tangible rewards. Beyond that, it's just a collectible trophy and is completely optional. Floor of each stage and already have an idea of what the fight is sort of about. Let's kick off with the 100 point guide, starting with BP1. BP1 has an ignore matrix effect throughout the stage, so that's something to take note of. In the handicaps page, we generally avoid the ones that directly increase the enemy's overall stats, such as overload, because this handicap here straight up boosts all of their stats, meaning the BP requirement of the fight drastically increases when you activate, so let's keep that off. Gravity adaptation slows your character down and boiling mine adds the damage over time effect in the field, so we turn those off as well. Recovery puts the regen effect on them, so disable that as well. And lastly, Black Hole, which turns your character into a pinball as you get pulled around by the mobs. In short, the handicaps that you want to take are Vitality 2, Immovable, Berserk, Bomb, Closed Loop, Blessing, Solitude, Sprint 3, and Flash, for a total of 31 points. As for the team, I recommend 2 characters for this stage, with an average of 3500 BP give or take. Make sure to have an attacker construct so you meet all the support requirements as well. Remember that you can share your gear around, so the BP amount shouldn't be too difficult to hit. The stage is completely doable without a healer while also carrying the bulk of your handicap points. With those handicaps activated for this stage, you only need to be mindful about the bombs that appear after the enemies die, so just stay away from their vicinity once you defeat them. And that concludes BP1. You don't have to strictly follow the constructs used in the example here, as long as you have an attacker or 2 leveled for it. Just remember to dodge the bombs upon their death, and with enough practice, you should be able to clear it with no issues. Moving on to BP2. This is a mob rush stage, so get used to healing often and planning your orbs. We'll be using Lith and one other construct in this stage to score 10 points. If you're not bringing in any attackers, you can turn on the attacker ban fire intrusion handicap for additional points, giving you more freedom to work with. Likewise, feel free to toggle between Berserk and Radiation levels if you can handle their aggressiveness with Berserk 3 on. The deployment bonus is having a healer in the team, which lets you activate the buff to heal for more. This helps a lot with the stage and Radiation drain effect. As for the fight itself, you can just remain at the southern edge of the map near the starting point and let them come to you, without aggroing the new waves. Bear in mind that the Royal Guard will split into 2 more upon death, so take them out immediately once they're in range, as they're the biggest threat in the room. Remember to check your health frequently and keep them topped up at all times. Moving on to BP3, this is the tank stage. If you have Bastion Kamui, great. You can actually solo this stage with him with the right strategy. If you don't have him, Tenebrion or any other tank works as well. Feel free to add another attacker to the team if you can't handle the fight. As for the handicaps, we'll be taking Repair Intrusion, Berserk 2, Bomb, Close Loop, and Commander 3 for a total of 20 points. Remember to grab the new armor buff as well for deploying a tank. As for the fight itself, the enemies spawn in a fixed order, so the strategy is to keep the initial shield bearers alive for as long as possible while you focus on each new wave. I recommend taking out Firefighter as fast as you can, as it leaves behind burning areas that last for a long time. If you're unfamiliar with playing as Bastion Kamui, you'll be relying on your triple blue ping often to keep your shields up to mitigate the HP drain effect and yellow orbs to counter. Do triple reds when it's safe, but prioritize your triple and matrix pings for blue orbs and you should be able to clear the fight with enough practice. If you've made it this far, then the good news is that BP 4 and 5 are pretty straightforward and easy. This is where you'll be using your alpha or your main physical attacker alongside the lift that you didn't use on BP 2 for support. For this fight, we'll be taking Agility, Unshakable, Berserk 1, Bomb, Commander 3, Lightning Mine, and Flash. Make sure a construct is at least level 40 so you can take the Signal Orb buff with you. There are various ways to go about the waves. It all depends on which enemy teleports to you first. Ideally, you want to kill the missionaries first so they don't become a nuisance with their attacks as well as summoning more of them. For the most part, the fights are straightforward and you won't really get overwhelmed by their numbers.
私の力はどう？存分に楽しむ。
Last but not least, BP5. It's almost as straightforward as BP4. For this fight, we'll be taking Unshakable, Berserk 3, Close Loop, and Flash, alongside 2 constructs or more with at least one of them being melee and elemental. Grab both buffs and we're all set to finally finish all the main rewards for Babel Tower. Just like BP2, you can hang back and let them come to you as you pick them off one by one and the fight will be over in no time. Congratulations when you've made it this far. You should have 100 strategy points to claim all your rewards. Don't worry if you still lack the necessary stats to clear any of the stages at the time of this posting. You have about a month and it's more than enough to work towards that goal. A general overview will also be included in my spreadsheet. Essential links are in the description below. As a final note, remember, Babel Tower is meant to be difficult and demanding on both gear and skill, but at the very least, they strike a nice balance for the more casual player base to still get all the rewards without too much effort. It's only harder now because the first Babel is so close to launch, but in the subsequent ones you should already have a formidable roster by then to get the minimum rewards with ease. So just have fun and challenge yourself because this mode only happens a few times a year. We've come to the end of this guide and I hope that it has been helpful to you in understanding how Babel Tower works, and all the best to your runs. Consider leaving a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.